Hello and welcome. Thank you for watching. If you are a subscriber, welcome back. And if you are not a subscriber and you would like to see more videos like this, hit the subscribe button. And if you hit the bell icon, you'll be notified when I make new videos. And with enough response, I'll keep making them. I am happy with the response that I've been getting. I'm not on here to do this for money. I'm just here to pass along information for the people seeking it. Now, it's not information for everybody because you have to be digging into the world of the occult, hidden. Occult means hidden. And that's what the word occultus comes. It's a Greek word, means hidden. That's what it is. Hidden knowledge of ourselves, our minds, psychology, astrology, numerology, all these things which are basically in the Bible as well, but they're encoded in stories for a reason. And different times, if you didn't believe like other people believe, if you didn't believe in the invisible sky wizard, you would be killed. So the occult had to be hidden, and only those who seek this information will find it. And that's why, there's not a lot of subscribers and a million views, because the information is for a select group of people who have chose to seek it out. Seek, and you shall find. That's what Jesus was talking about. What does he mean you will find? You'll find the hidden knowledge of yourself. And today I want to talk about the dark night of souls. Now, there's a lot of, if you look online, there are some people that know what it is. Some people have used the term for different things, but the dark night of souls is a term used by people who know, who have gone through it, and it's a very profound time. And in the Bible, Jesus goes into the tomb after being crucified and dying, and is dead in the tomb for 3 days before resurrecting anew. Jonah goes into the belly of a whale for 3 days and then comes out anew. The sun, on December 22nd, 23rd, and 24th, dies and goes into the underworld for 3 days before rising on December 25th anew, before it starts a new cycle. All these stories, those 3 days in the tomb and the 3 days of death, are talking about a period in that you go through during the course of enlightenment. And what enlightenment is a process that is very difficult, and very few people actually attain it. I know the word being awakened is thrown around by people who are sound asleep, because that's another term for enlightenment. There are videos I put in here to give people an idea of what it means. Are you awake? Are you enlightened? What is enlightenment? And I'm going to have to get into that a little bit here too, to give you an idea of what the dark night of souls is. The process of enlightenment is tearing down all the old things you've been taught, all the lies, all the negative thought processes, all the selfishness that you may have been taught by society, by your parents, by schools, by everyone around you. You've got to be completely independent and look at yourself and your emotions. Close look at your emotions and the feelings you have and how the actions and emotions connect. What emotions are you getting out of the actions that you do? And being very aware of those. Love is another emotion that is confused and mixed up. In our society, love of a child, your own child, is different than the love of a partner, because it's not a sexual love. It's that sexual love that is a lie. And in our society, some people think love is this ownership of another person and the control of the other person and the control of their sex life as well. That's not what love is. And jealousy, egos, all play a part in these emotions, and why people get so heartbroken over relationships when they lose somebody who treated them like shit. There's a reason for all of this. The need, self-respect, all these things have to be looked at deeply. And there are processes and exercises you can go through to be self-aware and to work your way up to enlightenment. It's not easy work, and you've got to be able to admit that you're wrong over and over and over again. And because what's going on in the process of enlightenment is you're trying to kill the ego, the self. This is what Jesus, the crucifixion, this is what that story is about. Now, I don't want to get into the connection with that. I have in other videos, because we're talking about the dark night of souls here, so I want to get closer to what that is. Where on the path of enlightenment does the dark night of souls come in? And the dark night of souls comes in right when the ego dies. When you've lost the self, the ego. And it's not an easy thing to do. And even after you've done it, there are ego traps that keep trying to come back. It's a difficult thing. It's a hard thing to put into words. It's not something that really can be put into words. That's why there are books and religions all over the world that have stood the test of time, because they're all talking about this. They're talking about our psyche and our minds, and what relation that has to the world we're in, the universe, the stars, the moon, the sun, how those things affect us as well. Some people think, the moon, the stars, they don't affect me emotionally at all. But you got to be very naive to think if you took the moon away, you wouldn't feel any different. You would. You'd feel different right before you die. The moon, the stars, the planets, the sun are all a part of you. They're yours. And they affect you greatly if you're aware of it. Manly P. Hall said, "A wise man rules his stars, but an ignorant man is ruled by them. And what he means is, if you're unaware of your emotions and your feelings, and you just go around being controlled by other people and other outside forces, including the moon and the stars. So getting a handle on your emotions and getting rid of this ego that refuses to let you give up. The dark night of souls comes right as you have learned some of the major secrets about your mind and your psyche and yourself. And it's a powerful experience, an overwhelming experience. It's an epiphany. It's a, oh my God, I now know. And you start thinking, who else knows this? And you realize very few people do. What am I talking about? You have to experience it for yourself to understand it, because it's profound. And it is so profound. It is so life-shattering that you go through 3 days approximately. Sometimes it's a little more, sometimes it's a little less. But 3 was, because I've talked to a lot of people who have actually gone through it and they've explained the experience to me. And I've explained my experience also on my videos of what it was for me. And it's a dark time. Dark Night of Souls, when I first heard the term, it was after it had happened to me, and I knew exactly what they were talking about, because it is a dark night of souls. There's paranoia. You're trying to be reborn. Your mind was wiped clean. It's like a computer. And you wipe out the operating software and you're installing a new one. There's a period between installing the new one and getting rid of the old one. There's a 3-day lapse where you're putting things together. What is true? What isn't true? What is real? What is not real? Because there's a lot of lies we live. There's a lot of things in our society that are not real, we think are real. And there's a lot more going on than people have no clue about. There's a lot more going on in this world than people see and hear. And once you know that and you can see them and hear them, you can get in touch with them. And now these forces, which may be unseen forces, you can manipulate. And that's what magic is. Manipulating the unseen forces that other people don't know are there. You can make people do things they wouldn't normally do just by manipulating the atmosphere and the discussion and the emotions of a situation. But let's get back to the Dark Night of Souls. The Dark Night of Souls is this period when you've learned some critical details and the ego has died. The software has been wiped out, and now you have to start putting it all together again. What is real? What is not real? And during this time, it can be very confusing because you don't know what is real. You've learned some things that you didn't believe before. Now you know they're true. And when you've had an epiphany like that, when you've been... Let me give you an example. Some people see UFOs, all right? And they believe they've been abducted, and it changes their life forever. Now, I've never seen them, so I don't know. But I'm just giving you an example of what's happening during this time. And when some people have seen and have experienced UFOs and have been abducted, and they believe they've gone through this process of being abducted and being examined, it changes their whole life. You've got to imagine that if it happened to you, you'd have to, your whole mind would have to go back and rethink everything in your life about what's going on here. That's a similar type of thing when the secrets of the psyche and our world are revealed to you during the process of enlightenment. Because there are secrets in this world that will blow your mind. And if I told you them, you wouldn't believe them, because you have to experience them to believe it. No matter how many times someone tells you that there are aliens out there from another planet, you're not going to believe it, just like I don't. But if one came up to me and landed in my yard and walked up and slapped me in the face, well, then I'd know. And that's what some of these experiences are. And when you learn them, they change your life. And they have to do with energy, vibration. Everything vibrates. The Hermetic principles. You want to know what some of the secrets are? Start reading them. There they are. But nobody will believe them. Nobody understands them. But they're real and it's true. And when you experience these things and you understand them, and now it's profound. It changes. You have to go and rechange everything you've thought about where you are, the world you live in, and who you are. And that takes about 3 days. And you go through the dark night of souls until you start putting it all together. And then you are reborn with a new outlook on life, and you start living with this new perspective. You've become a new person because you've gotten rid of the old software, all the lies. And now you're living with, you may encounter new lies and believe them, but until you've experienced it, it's very hard and very difficult to explain. So I'm trying the best I can. And that is, the dark night of souls is this period that's very uncomfortable. For me and a lot of people I know, there's moments of paranoia and fear because you really don't know what's real and what's not. You don't have an operating software anymore. And it can be a dangerous and confusing time for some. And it's this that stops a lot of people from ever attaining enlightenment, because the fear of losing the self and killing the ego and facing the dark night of souls is so great that they turn around, and when you do, you never go back. Some people dabble in this type of enlightenment and occult, or stumble across it, and without guidance, they can lose their mind, because you have to lose your mind to find it. And that's true. You have to get rid of your mind and lose it to find out how it works. Because that's really all it's about, how our minds work, and how in relation our minds work to the world we live in and the vibrations that everything has. You have a vibration. This pen has a vibrational rate. Everything does. That's how matter sticks together. Nothing is solid. It appears that way to you, but it's not. And that's just about it. That's what the dark night of souls is. It's a period of time when you're now in the transition. Think of Jesus. He died, stayed in the tomb for 3 days. He was resurrected anew. Well, that's what it is. And that's what all these religious books are trying to teach us. And they've been around since the beginning of time for a reason. Because there's truth. may be hidden in allegories and fairy tales, but there's a meaning behind it. And that's basically it. Some people think of Dark Night of Souls as a point in time where they have an epiphany. They learn something amazing, and it is, in a way, but not like wiping out your whole thinking process and starting fresh. It's just an example of what it could be. And I hope that clears up what Dark Night of Souls is. There are other things to read online, but I just wanted to give my opinion, and it's just my opinion. You can like it or you can dislike it. Hit one of the buttons down there. It helps my videos. If you comment, hit like, subscribe. If I get interest, I make more. I don't do this for money. I just do this for the people that are looking for something to think about, to open up our minds and to understand. I mean, if you're a person that thinks you already know it all, well, you're not going to be here. People that think they know it all, they've turned it off a long time ago because they don't want to believe me, and they don't believe nothing, and they're skeptical about everything because they've already know it all. They think there are a lot of people out there that think they know everything there is to know about life already. And, you know, it's what we call fools, because nobody knows it all. I don't know it all. Nobody will ever know it all. There's too much to know. And when you understand that, the world opens up for you. If you can open up your mind and clear it of all the bad thought processes that are taught to us by people that are trying to control us. And it's usually the people on the dark side who are the unenlightened people that want you to be just like them. Ignorant. And that's the way it works. So, thank you for watching. And until next time, I'm Wes from the Universal Life Church Monastery. Peace and happiness to you.